meeting is we go around and do a temperature check on the community. And I think it's helpful and positive. So today's not going to be any different. Really, like, is there anything that you want to bring to other stewards' attention of something that's happening in the community, to a community member, things that feel like they're going well or things that feel like they're not going so well? Just what's your observations from being present in our community this week? And I think I'll kick it off with Chewy, please. I'll pass to you.
Thank you, Tam. I think I'm personally just getting a much better sense of everything at the same time that just enthusiasm is growing up a lot in the community. I feel that yeah, like these next weeks are critical, and just the experience of the param parties and how efforts are coming together. I feel that it's also well, at least like for me, for my personal experience, it has surprised me a lot in like regarding what I can learn, like how I can participate in these kind of decisions. So yeah, I would just encourage anyone to try everything that is gonna be out the next days. I'll pass it to Griff.
Yeah, I really am loving. So I'm biased because I'm all into the Hatch params now, and so a random person from Region Network came in today for the Hatch party, and I think that there will be a lot of that this week. So I'm just stoked about it. And it seems like every call there's a couple new people, or at least one new person who I'm like, oh yeah, or someone who isn't the regular, and so I feel like there's a good mix of that. But I'm very excited for the engagement opportunities that we have with with like hardcore token engineers coming up. I'll pass it to Livia.
Yeah, I'm super excited about the Hatch too. It feels like it's really, really close now. It's getting so real. And I think something clicked for me today that I was having a talk with Katie, and we were talking about like when we think of onboarding, what are we onboarding people into? And also reflecting on the boundaries and yeah, being welcoming, but also having standards. And I think it's been a process, especially, I mean, talking for me in relation to the community, a process of this like refinement of standards when communicating what we're doing. I don't know how to say this without sounding like rude or something, but like being welcoming, but not too welcoming. Like welcoming, but with boundaries and with an understanding of like what do we need, how people can help, and being more and more laser focused on our mission that now it's so clear on like advancing token engineering and all of the details that we are bringing to this path. And I pass to Nate.
Yeah, very excited about the upcoming Hatch and all the param parties that's going on. I'm getting a better understanding of all the parameters that are involved, and it's just a really awesome environment to go to these param parties. So if you haven't gone, please go. But yeah, I will pass to Manu.
Thanks, Nate. I'm excited. I'm gonna go to my first params party today. I wanted to go to the earlier one, but it was like 3 a.m. In Mexico, so I couldn't. I'm looking forward to being content publisher, and distributors are just writing and seeing how I can use that to onboard people. And yeah, just excited about the hatch and the way things develop, the way working groups evolve into the new phases. And yeah, I'm grateful for how welcoming this community has been overall, and excited to get more people in. And I'll pass it to Septi.
Thanks, Manu. Yeah, I have some alignments with what Livy just said, and like when we were discussing like the retrospective, like one of the goals is like making more social interactions and this stuff. And I was internally I was thinking, yeah, but our mission should be like advanced token engineering, and like not parting when Sam is coding. Like that doesn't make sense. Like the idea of being a good community should focus on advancing the token engineering, and when we advance it, then we reach it because we have all these tools to play around. And I'll pass it to Juan.
Thanks, Septi. For me, it's been really great that I have seen that new contributors have made great contributions. Like I am going to share to the Stewards group a repository that Dan made about like all the links from each working group, and when you see it in that way, it's great that like other people can like bring their talents into what we're doing and help. And I am also really making my best effort to understand in each of the params parties. So yeah, I think we are like learning a lot, and that everything is going in the right path. I will pass to me.
A lot from my side. I think what being sort of outsider, noob, whatever you want to call it, I've had a good sort of talk with Katie into how people that are new to the CEC should come. And I think the biggest insight was that the feeling that you have is like when you finish sort of high school and you go to college, and you go to a college that you want to pursue just to see what sort of classes there are, and everything gets open. And because there's no sort of orientation into the classes, you can end up in a senior class without understanding anything, or generally the insight was that maybe there needs to be some sort of levels in terms of how people engage, and based on their knowledge and what they know prior to coming, and some sort of school or more crash course type of thing. But I know it's slowly coming along, and it's a lot covering from all sides. So yeah, just some ideas. I don't know who hasn't been before, so
I'll pass to Katie.
Perfect, thanks.
Thanks everybody. Yeah, temperature check. I've had a great week. The energy is up everywhere. It feels so good. I've been to a few params parties. I still haven't got a clue. No, I shouldn't say that. I'm learning. I love it. It all feels really exciting. And I've had so many great chats this last week with Mihai, with T. Wells, with Livia, with others. And I was saying to Livia just a moment ago that for me, I think after all of that information exchange with new people and people who've been around for a while, something is clicking for me quite strongly, and it just feels super awesome. And maybe somehow getting closer to the hatch, everything just feels kind of really exciting. And I'm starting to really see where I can make some good contributions. Back to you, Tim.
Septimus?
Yeah, I already went. I'll pass it to Santi.
Thank you, Zapti. I think I tried to remember when I joined the DAO a few months ago, and when I heard the hatch term for the first time, I didn't know what the hell the hatch was. And I make a little retrospective, and when I see the very first diagram that we created together with Sam, and how that diagram, started giving life to the params, and how everyone now has a huge, amazing dashboard to play with. And even on top of that, we have the parties, so everyone can understand and vote and get involved in that process. It's just amazing. It's unbelievable. So I think this is way ahead of any other DAO out there. And on top of that, we are creating these diagrams to make everyone understand the process we're going through. So the amount of information that right now anyone joining has is incredible, and I think it makes a huge difference compared to other DAOs and other groups. So that's the way I see it now. I don't know if Katie went.
Yeah, I think I'm the last one. I think everyone else has gone. And my feedback is, it's interesting because, we're not always all totally aligned or seeing the same anything, but I think there's like super high vibes and super high energy right now, and it's just it's the current is going through all of us. The hatch param parties, I mean, God, Griff, you're killing it. There's like so many. You can't not go to one, like they're all over the place. And it's just the ones that I've gone to, they're just excellent. They're so informative. They really make it so easy to do. So I say that's really excellent. The Twitter and memes game is on super high. So that's really been excellent to see too. The strategic shift in hatch outreach I felt is very strong. I feel like I'm very excited about the way things are coming together in terms of like producing things that can go to everyone and is easy for mass, like as a mass consumable, versus investing a lot of more time into these one-on-one sessions, which we're still doing, but really, really ramped that down. And then I in the last few weeks have been like onboarding or exposing to TEC to complete newbies to crypto. So Katie and Joe, who's the creative director who I'm working with, diagrams. And, it just reminds me, like, it's hard to introduce people to crypto, like the very beginning, like wallets and how it works and why, and like forget about like the big picture. I feel like it's almost easier for them to grab onto the big picture ideas and then to like fill in the details as you go along. And I feel like that's actually been really exciting for me. And yesterday I had a sync with Chewy, and one of the things, he just really made me feel like he sort of like pulled me back into like, 6 months ago, where I just started and I was like, how do I get my head around all this? I was like, and I remember that feeling so well. And it's really cool to see people coming in and getting their head around everything so quickly, and then executing so well in our collaborators, but also in our community. So I just wanted to say it's really exciting. Did you not go, Manu, Eduardo?
No, I did not go.
You're up.
Temperature check. I had realized, I had this conversation with Satimus a few hours ago. I had realized that on the past month, I have been so diving into reaching people exteriorly that I have sort of forgotten about getting into some calls or getting into other working groups calls. So for me, I will actually join the next param call party, because I feel like I sort of need to go back to connect again, because I have been connecting with everyone outside, but I have sort of missed out things within. So that for me was clarifying, to feel like, oh, you need to go back. So that's my temperature check. Back to you, Tam.
Cool. Okay, so spotlight for tomorrow. This is the thing we just have a quick check on. How are we doing? Do we have someone or some ideas or?
Yeah, I talked to Will Ruddock from Grassroots Economics, and so Blair, who is on the dev team there, and Shayla, who is the director of Grassroots Economics in Kenya, are going to come tomorrow to present on community currencies. So
I'm super excited about that. Thanks. Cool. Excellent. Super excited about that. Okay, phenomenal. Cool. And thanks for, it's so nice that it's done, Nate. It's so amazing that we're not scrambling in this meeting and at the last minute. So thanks for this. Cool. And then, God, believe it or not, this weekend is praise and next week is our blog post. So let's talk about the things that we want to put in the blog post. I'm assuming the hatch params. So the post will be the 11th, 12th, just for a target. So probably the vote of the hatch params, if it's ready.
Is there any chance this post would be able to get out on like Sunday or Monday? Like, because if it really depends on this strategy. Like, if we can get it out on Sunday or Monday, then we can talk a lot about the hatch params and promote it on Monday really hard for people to look through it and vote. Otherwise, we should probably wait until Thursday to get it out, just so on Wednesday we will select the top 3. And then Wednesday night, we would know who the top 3 are, so we could push it on Thursday. Like, that's.
It's a great question, actually. We don't, like, what else do we have in this? You know, the 2 that I suggested is sort of like a countdown to hatch. It's sort of just like talking about the votes that will take place. And maybe if we have nothing else, maybe we make this a Sunday post and just talk about the params, the countdown to hatch, and proposals on the forum now. Maybe something that I'd like to hear, I guess, from other stewards too. Is there anything else that we should put into this? And can we have some thought around making this a post on Sunday to have a final push for the hatch params? Craig, you want to jump in?
Hi. Yeah, I'm just thinking Monday's more feasible for me. Sunday is possible, but like Monday morning, I think it's totally feasible, depending on what the group settles on the content will be.
Sweet.
Is there other content that anyone would want to suggest?
I forget, at the last minute we were debating whether or not we include the MVV or not in the last one. Did the MVV actually get like posted? Like, this is the final MVV? I don't think it did, right?
No,
Nope.
good call. Yeah. Yeah, let's post the results now.
Yeah, cool. I did see that. So yeah, we just called it number 16.
We're testing the rage quit. I don't know if that's news, but it's the last user acceptance testing that we have to do.
Right. I added that as like update about the hatch demo. Does that count? Like.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But that will happen Thursday. That'll happen.
Yeah, tomorrow. But we met our max goal. We met our funding goal, guys. Chewy was the last one to score some tokens.
I think framing as the last one is pretty powerful.
Yeah. Well, it's the last rehearsal before the final dress rehearsal. Because when we actually have the real parameters, we'll just scale them and do one last test that everyone can play with. And just mostly like the smart contracts and all that stuff will be, but it's always nice to get some user testing and find random bugs that we can't see, you know? Yeah, I would shill the Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the countdown to hatch is basically the 2 vote dates, the 11th and the 18th. And then there's going to be a period where there is the, I mean, and of course these dates may change, but probably not the voting dates. See? And then the around the end of May, there'll be the final test demo, hatch demo with the final parameters. And that's something that people will be open to people to play with before the hatch itself. Yeah, that's nice.
Chewy puts out a dev update every Wednesday. It'd be nice to kind of shill that thread as well. At least it could be part of the hatch demo.
Yeah, and there's also a version in the TEC forum and another one in the One Hive forum, but probably the One Hive one gets more technical.
Yeah, it's nice actually to share that exists because it's such a great update. Okay, so there's a bit, and maybe the question now is the timing for this. And then this is an idea like a summary of proposals on the forum, just to say here are the proposals on the forum. I don't know if this is worth making it into this blog post or not.
This is just why I ask is like I don't think we should make a summary if we're going for if we're shooting for Monday, then we say to frame the hatch vote in one way, and if we're shooting for after Tuesday, then we frame it another way and we launch it on Thursday, because I think that is the prime like topic. But because if we're shooting for Monday, then we can talk about like go to token log and vote, like check out all these cool parameters. You know, you can even fork them and make a suggestion, or you know, we talk about okay, these are the top 3. Go look at them on token log and vote. This is final. This is it. We're determining the hatch. But either way, I kind of spent some time on this evolving economics via hatch param parties post, and I would love to see some of that framing come in.
So summary of the proposals, it's on GitHub, not on the forum. Or is it about the proposals in the forum?
On GitHub and token log.
Sorry, these are the, proposals is such a bad word. These are the projects on the forum. Sorry, different. Yeah. That was more like, hey, what are the projects that we have that have submitted already? Which maybe we're not ready for that yet. Maybe that can come in a later blog post.
Yeah, I think it's still quite, like we should ask Tanner again if he really wanted to withdraw the Pictosis proposal, because he said that, but I feel like there is still some communication with the proposals that are there.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. And I think this is quite good, actually. So timing, how do we make this decision? What's the advantage to giving one last push? Do we think if we post this on Monday, people will actually submit proposals between Monday and Tuesday? Where's our param dates? Yeah, I don't know how to make a decision on this. I guess, Katie, do you want to weigh in on this?
Well, what I want to know is why not both, for example? I mean, what are the constraints for publishing the blog? Are there actual constraints? Do you see what I mean? Does it have to be bi-weekly, or could there be more than one? I mean, I could do in the timing wise for the params one, I could do it on Friday, for example, the end of this week. And then a regular one could go out next Wednesday.
Thoughts? I don't know.
Sorry, I think I missed the reason why we would delay the post.
The blog post? No, I think Katie was asking why not send more than, why not submit a post or like a push for the voting on the blog, as well as what we're doing on Twitter. This is an interesting idea. If we want to sort of push people to joining these param parties and talk about it a little. Nobody knows.
Fine. I was hoping someone else would have an opinion. You know, what the hell? But anyway, yeah, no, I think it's fine. I was more worried about like if we execute on Monday, then cool. Then the blog post has this, and if it ends up being executed on Thursday, I mean, it's priorities, right? Like sometimes this post doesn't get prioritized, so, and that's okay. But yeah, we can definitely, if we want to make like short and sweet posts and promote them. I mean, we could make it on Medium, or you can also just put it on the forum.
Yeah.
So it sounds like maybe, Griff, you're not a fan, or maybe in general, it's not ideal to have to split, so to speak, the blog, that you just continue with the more regular schedule and then add the params boost elsewhere, I guess.
Can I say, why not just post this forum post on the blog? This is a great post, Griff. Why don't we just publish this on the blog, because it has a Medium audience versus the forum audience? And that we can do anytime. And then the blog post can stay, the Praise Quant blog can still happen on its regular schedule and return the results. I mean, and share the results.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah, I mean, we just have to like do it ASAP because those dates are disappearing, right? So.
I really like that idea. Any reason not to do that I'm not seeing? There could be good reasons.
Other than I don't plan on touching it, and it definitely needs to be edited. Feel free to. I edited it like 10 times, and it's just random streams of thoughts from like ADD Griff, just like drinking coffee and randomly coming in. So like, you know, feel free to take creative license, and I'm not going to be able to support too much.
I can do that.
I'm still trying to review Nate's awesome corrections to the forum. Sorry, Olivia.
I have a feeling that we're producing like so much content, and maybe what it's more effective is like a very little message, just pointing people towards the event, because I feel like if there is an invite, then people jump just to take a look, and then they get there and it's fun. But then if there is a really long explanation, then you start reading and you're like, I'm not, and you just close and then lose the chance of actually jumping in the party.
So does that mean that the blog post, like turning this into a blog post for Medium, would be too heavy for people on Medium?
I think it just feels unnecessary. Like it's already there in the forum. Like Medium, if anything, we could.
The only advantage I see is that Medium has a huge audience and the forum doesn't. So it will get on the radar of a lot more people on Medium than it would on, it's much more visible on Medium than on the forum. That's my thinking. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good idea, but it probably needs to go out today if it's going to be useful.
But we were talking about putting this into the blog post on Sunday or Monday. So couldn't this go out tomorrow?
Just the text above, like, and just the framing. I'm just talking about the framing of like this being a bottom-up economy, the first one ever, and you know, shilling this meme of like, you know, participatory governance, how about participatory economics, you know? And let's like move the needle on that end too.
Okay. So maybe it sounds like, I don't know, we don't want to, like, if it has to go out today, then probably it's not going to get done. It's 8 o'clock almost in CET. So if it has to go out today, it sounds like it's not going to go done. But if it can get out by the end of the week so that it's available on Medium for the weekend, then that sounds like it's more achievable. Yeah. Maybe Katie, do you want to take a crack at it and then it in the content and distribution and sort of run it through that process and see if it gets greenlit to go? Does that sound?
Yeah, I can't do that today, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, I think so too. Shui, what do you think sort of calms people?
I think that this post is also going to work with you remember the what we talk about, the T Scouts. I think it could work great with that also. So if any of you are close to other communities, like I'm throwing it out there in One Hive in my case, for example. I'm also hosting a params party on Friday on One Hive. So if any of you are close or have any contacts in other communities, that is also going to help us a lot. Just putting it out there and personally inviting people. I think like a short term can make this post very efficient.
And I'll create an issue for that as well, for that article, and we can put it through the C&D process.
Yeah, cool. I think that makes a lot of sense. So Katie, take a crack at it, sort of editing this article down to like the essential and the dates that people can join these param parties. And Nate will have an issue open for it in the content and distribution. Okay, wow, that took a lot longer than I expected. But it was good that we worked it out. And then I guess the second thing is that if that is something that goes out this on Friday or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, something like that, then where people will have more time to join the params parties anyway versus the week, then the final MVV and the final hatch params would be in the next blog post that would go out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as normal. Cool. Craig, before we move on, do you want to add anything?
No, I think it sounds good. My understanding is if this first post goes out, then regular, including MVV and params finals. And if not, then are we still shooting for like a Monday release?
Big yes. Cool.
Good.
All right. So countdown to here. Nothing really changed. You know, the key dates are still the same. Still internal. Probably the dates we can share are like the voting dates, which people need to know because they actually have to take an action on that date. So next Tuesday and then the following Tuesday are the two vote dates. But of course, this is subject to change if it needs to be changed. But I think it's worth us just going through that every week. So shall we go through a check-in? Before we do that, who hasn't done their hatch? Who hasn't submitted a hatch param yet? Is there anyone, any stewards who hasn't yet submitted a hatch param?
Me.
Okay.
I have not yet.
Eduardo, Santi, who else?
Craig.
I'm not a steward, but I haven't.
Livia. Craig, you haven't? Oh, Craig, you haven't?
No, I have not.
Okay, cool. Oh, I thought can you guys check the param schedule and see when you can? I thought we would have time at the end of this session to do it, but it looks like we might not.
There is a param party after this.
Right after this.
I hope so.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I hope so too. All right, cool. So why don't we start with params updates? Please give us your news.
Everything's looking good. I think the main thing is just assuming that we get engagement and enough people to propose params, that we have enough choices to choose from, then it should work out. So I think we're on pace for the 11th for the decision. It's a really good engagement opportunity, but I think we should just save, because like we could just be like, oh hey, we made some updates, we want to extend the deadline or something to give more time for engagement, but I don't think it's worth it. I think we should just go personally and push to get this stuff done faster. But everything's going well. I'm really loving Nate's. Nate went to the forum and is like cleaning up a lot of the forum posts that are linked in the dashboard. So anytime you don't know what a parameter is, you can click that question mark. If you scroll over the question mark, there'll be a little pop-up with a one sentence. If you click it, then you go into the forum post where you can have debates. And what I would say is there is a new forum post that's like macro discussion on parameters. If you want your parameter to be voted on, you should probably post a link there so we can talk about it, right? And it's like for macro discussions. And also when you're looking at parameters, and if you like it, vote for it in token log, please. You don't have to use all of your votes, but getting a little bit of signaling will get other people to look at it. And also, make comments in GitHub. The more engagement we get this week, the easier our task will be next week when we have to filter through. Also, if you're forking a proposal, dear God, please link to the original proposal that you've forked. Otherwise, we'll still have more trouble counting up all the votes next week.
I think it's worth mentioning also, like if you open a forum post for discussing the strategies, that I feel it's more comfortable than GitHub, because in GitHub there's a lot of links, but in this is like one page, you have everything.
Yeah, the forum post is really for discussing general stuff. But if like, hey dude, like nice thing, but why is your hatch tribute 50%? Like everything looks great except for that. Maybe tone that down a little bit. Here, I forked it, and here's mine where I just changed the hatch tribute. That's probably a GitHub link.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. I think this one's...
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Finalized hatch contribute is done. QAN, hatch config dashboard.
This is done?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, cool. And the post is done too. This is the post that was assigned to Mitch, but this one's done, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool. Should we jump into the hatch demo and common swarm?
Yeah. Chewy was the last one to fill up our hatch. We reached our max goal. You'll see lots of confetti. Go to the website right now, which is great. So tomorrow we rage quit. But yeah, I don't think that there's any, maybe 423 in progress, but otherwise there's not much else to say.
Cool, excellent. The one map the decision hatch make, Olivia, I do mean to comment on that one, because I know that can be very helpful. And I'll do it. Sorry, I haven't done it yet. And yeah, maybe we jump into Hatcher Outreach next, because we're gonna hatch soon. Eduardo, do you want to give an update on proposals?
Yes. So we just had a call about it, and I actually outreached Jess while we were. So basically, what I did this week was to basically read through the proposals, bring some conclusions to it. I posted on the GitHub issue that I don't remember the name. Is the GitHub issue number 679, where we have categorizations of the proposals that we have already. And basically, what we're gonna do is just we'll tackle the 6 top of the list, and she will message them before Friday to see, and since she was the one establishing the relationship with them at the beginning, so she will follow up with them and then update on the forum when it's due to, and then I take the part of that update, engaging with someone from, for example, let's say Mitch, someone who can provide some feedback to that proposal, and then I will take the other 2, which are Token Lock and Vacate, to follow up with them. So that's we are basically, for everyone else here, we are basically taking care of the ones that has been proposed rather than actively outreaching proposals for submission. We are outreaching proposals or projects, not proposals, we are outreaching the projects, but not necessarily mandatory to submission, just to like spread the word a little bit. So yeah, that's on my side.
Cool. Okay. And for the Hatcher outreach, the visualization is coming along nicely. We're working with a creative director to help sort of shape a diagram that's a little easier to be consumed by most people. Clearer, crisper, much more professional. I've started inviting stewards to Hatch outreach, and Nate joined me today on one. I have one coming up, I believe, tomorrow, so I'll see if another steward can join me as well. I hope that they're very useful for all stewards. And yeah, I think the shifting from Hatcher outreach to sort of having all of these continuous one-on-ones to having putting a lot of that focus into how we can share information with lots of people in one go. So sort of like, rather than distributing a lot of energy over time, sort of distributing energy on one thing that can then go and have a larger reach. It's going really nicely, actually. And maybe we move on to transparency.
Yeah, we still focus on the audit for stewards and comms. And this week is the last week we're doing normal recording. Next week we are starting with the bot, and since we have like the first call on transparency, the first meeting, so we will decide how we will storage the data and how we implement it on YouTube. And yeah, that's all.
So does that mean that from next week all the recordings will be audio?
Yeah, except for the community call that is still video because we need it for the price.
Except for the community call because we need it for what?
Yeah, to get the attendance of the price, like it makes Ivy's job easier if we have the video.
The praise.
Ah, okay, right. Cool. Okay. So we're not, or that means the YouTube channels go away. We're not going to have videos on YouTube channels anymore. Just
no, we still to be discussed. I have 2 ideas, but or we have all the recordings on a section of the Discord, or we still, and I think I like more the second one, we just upload the audio on YouTube with the slides that Marco created, so people could still listen it as a podcast. Maybe that's still interesting, so people can catch up. But yeah, I don't want to impose anything. We have to discuss it.
Okay, cool. Okay, thanks for sharing that.
Zep, can you remind me where this link is to all the descriptions?
What do you mean description? Oh, yeah, I'll pass it to you.
Yeah, or even post it in the Stewards channel.
Okay, yeah, better idea.
And SoftGov. Wow, we got a lot. Should we give some updates from SoftGov again?
Yes. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. Yeah, so the onboarding guide and resources, I took a look at it, and also I think with the talks we're having with Katie, we can shape it into a better format. Yesterday I worked a little bit on the Git book on that session, and then I'm scheduling a time to look into the agreements with Sean, probably later today or tomorrow. And then the Graviton time it was developing. We had to reschedule the session, but mostly Juan did a lot of work into it, and I was just following up with it. And then setting up a hack session for reviewing Git book. I'm planning to do that next week. And then the reward system holistic overview, I think it's gonna move more smoothly once we solve this part of the source cred, that is just the token distribution, that it's all like on track. It just needs to happen to finish a few things on the bot. And yeah, I think that was all.
Okay, cool. I guess I have maybe this will be part of comms too, but I have a question about the onboarding module framework that T. Wells is working on. Maybe we jump to comms next.
Yeah, it's just I'm not able to see your screen, Tam.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it? Let me try to reshare. Oops. Is it working now? Oh, even I can't see it shared. I'm having those circling dots.
Yeah, it's the same.
Can you maybe jump into the ZenHub board and sort by comms, sort by sprint 9 under milestone and communications working group? Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not working. I don't know why.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, where is this? Tam, you mentioned a filter by. Oh wait, here's Tam. Tam.
Hey.
I'm not able to filter by sprint.
Yeah, it's under milestones actually.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And for comms. Okay. So it was regarding T. Wells' onboarding module.
Yeah.
What was the?
But you can jump into it and update from comms in general. But the question about the onboarding module, how are we doing with that? And how is how is this being structured? Is Katie helping with the onboarding part to sort of like to consult or to help guide T. Wells with how he shares the information?
Okay, in the comms working group, Marco and T-Will showed us like an advance of the presentation. I'm not sure of how your one-on-one with T-Wells went, Katie, but from what I understand I think you were the one, Katie, that told them how to classify like the first part of it.
So I had a great call with him. I guess I can't remember if that was today or yesterday. But yeah, one of the things I explained to him, because he wasn't at the first when his material was first presented to the TEC, where there was a little bit of different opinions on how the working group should be first processed on the original landing page. You know, how many classifications there should be. So one suggestion he had was that the 10 would be present, and I thought maybe what would work for the TEC would be something more dynamic, where you have like the Venn diagram, the flower diagram, where you might have the different areas where you could hover. So I was talking to him about, instead of clicking through, which could be a little bit confusing because none of the working groups fall into one category or another, to where you could hover over the so-called categories. In that way, you could see you would see the relevant working groups underneath. At the same time, I told him to reach out to a few folks, because of course I'm just giving him one perspective. And we also talked about one of the important topics I thought we talked about was, who is this for? Because there's been some discussion lately about the difference between, this happened in the comms call also, the difference between, you know, quote unquote community members and token engineers. So that was something that he found very useful, that he would integrate into that module.
Okay, so sorry, just in the interest of time, because we have 6 minutes left and we're sort of getting into the weeds. It sounds like maybe Chewy and Katie, you guys can sync up. I don't know if you guys have something planned for soon, and then maybe we can continue with the updates for comms. Yeah, cool.
Okay, and about the rest of the board, we are making some progress. Manu and I, and our like the date in which we're gonna present like a first cut, like structurally something more accurate, is I think May 12th. Is that right, Manu? And
at the latest, I'm aiming at before, so that we can get more edits, more feedback incorporated, and get a better video going.
Yeah, and the idea would be to have a final version by the last week of May.
Cool. Okay. You referred to a little earlier that TE squad and sort of like comms TE squad. I thought that was a very interesting concept, and it's new that I heard yesterday, because I wasn't able on the comms team. I don't know, maybe it's worth sharing with all of the stewards too, the sort of idea of what this squad would help achieve.
Okay. Yes, the idea would be to like develop a team between a Hatcher outreach and comms. And what I mentioned, what I just mentioned, like try to have like more personal approaches to communities. The idea would have would be to have a team that specializes on that. I'm syncing with Edu tomorrow, and yeah, I think we're gonna lay it out to see also like which volunteers we have. We have people like Ada, we have people like Meta Verde. Some people that are very they get around like the space, and they know a bunch of people. So yeah, that's the idea of this group, to have like specific like reach outs to communities.
I'd say in the terms of like going through advice process on that, it's worth reaching out to Jessica as well. But I think she's a good person to sort of help give some feedback on that too.
I'll do, Tam. Thank you.
Anything else?
Just in that, yeah, just in that, she regarding this aspect or reaching the proposals, the projects on communities. She just mentioned she is very short of bandwidth, and that probably after Friday, she can have some time for it. But then right now, she's not much available for having meetings.
Yeah, she's extremely busy. Cool. Okay, any other updates from comms?
Yeah, I think that's it. Do you have any updates on SEO, Nate?
Not other than we are going to continue our meetings, 30-minute hack sessions on SEO for the foreseeable future. It is in the calendar, and I would say the same thing with the content workshops that Chewy is holding. Yeah, so if you're interested in developing content or working on our SEO, please join us during these hack sessions because we're trying to get a lot done in a small amount of time. So you're more than welcome to join us.
Can you drop them in the, I know they're on the calendar, but can you just drop a reminder in the Stewards channel too? Because it's, they're really great. And since they're new on the calendar, they're not really on everyone's radar. I don't have them like programmed into my mind yet, but I'd love to drop in on some of them.
Yeah, definitely. I'll post that in this TE Stewards channel too. And I don't know if we can get the bot to actually promote them within the Discord. I know that we've been playing around with that for a bit, but I don't know if there's any updates on it.
Yes, you can submit a request to Vi. Actually, there is a process that he defined in the issue. It'd be great if we could pull that out somewhere and sort of keep it on our radar. Maybe I think somebody suggested posting it into one of the channels, or pinning it in one of the channels. But yeah, it's a good idea. As long as something's fixed in the calendar, we can have the bot create a reminder and post it to one channel, maybe more channels, but it makes sense. Maybe just the general channel even. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, and we have Gravity and Legal, and we only have 1 minute left. So Gravity, can you do a 1 minute update from the Gravity group?
Yes, Tam. Well, I think we need to coordinate better with Nate and with Chewy to make the distribution of the Gravity survey, because we have it, but we haven't made the distribution or tweeted about it. I have an issue of making icebreakers, and yeah, maybe as I see that there are a lot of hatch param parties, maybe it would be a little bit overwhelming, but I would like to have a space during the week to have time just to meet each other and not talk about work. And the post-hatch changes discussion is something that we can discuss here in the Stewards.
I'm gonna jump into the params, guys. I'll see you there.
Have a fun party.
Yeah, and we can have it here in the Stewards and then also in SoftGov, because it's something that it's good to be prepared for changes, so that they don't take us unprepared.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, cool. Cool. And then Santi, is there anything that we need to know about legal? And then we'll close this call. Sorry, it ran.
Everything is fine with legal. You can just go ahead.
Cool. All right. Thanks everyone for your time today, and see you soon.